Hi everyone, so I am here to bring you a book tag. So this was created by Peter Likes Books and it is called the 5 Books, 5 Polls tag. Now I'm going to say right now that I really don't know how to make polls. So if you want, you can just tell me your answer down below, or maybe I can find a way to link a messenger kind of thing. If you want to tell me there. So the basic idea of this tag is you pick 5 books and questions to go along with that book, like something the book made you think about or something like that. So basically, go over like a quick premise, and then you get on to your question. So watching my channel, the books I've picked here, obviously you guys should not be surprised, but let's get on with the tag. So the first book on my list is The Giver. So The Giver is actually mostly middle grade, and I'd say middle grade too, but I guess it can go middle grade, young adult, but mostly middle grade, dystopian. It's actually the first dystopian I actually read. And it centers around a young boy named Jonas who lives in what is just called the community. And in the community, everything is laid out for you. So when you go to the ceremony of 12 is where the book is starting out for Jonas. You go and you get your job picked by the elders. So there are things like, I don't know, daycare worker. They have like different jobs, but that's just an example. You know, they'll watch you as a child, and if you're good with kids, daycare worker or teacher. If you're brave, maybe fireman or something, something like that. They watch you and they observe you. And then later on, if you want to get married, you can apply for a spouse, meaning a wife or a husband, depending on what gender you are. And if you're approved, eventually, you can go and apply for children, because one of the jobs for young women is being a birth mother, because they live in what's called family units. So there's mother, father, son, and daughter if you want to have an actual family. So yeah, literally everything is laid out for you. They take like these pills where they can't see color. Weather is controlled. So the idea is sameness, that there is no violence or anything bad because everyone's literally the same. Well, Jonas gets to be the receiver of memories, where he goes to the giver, who holds the memories of the past before any of this, past when there was music and colors and extended family. And as Jonas goes for his training and the memories are transferred to him, he sort of begins to question things, especially when he starts to notice things like sledding and sunshine and love. It's a very sad but beautiful story. And my question is, would there really be a price to pay to live in a world without pain? Would we really have to give up so much that made us human? The next book is The Fault in Our Stars. I know a lot of people have their ups and downs with this one. I really enjoyed it. I know there's things that, can be questioned, but I really loved it. So, The Fault in Our Stars is a story about a girl named Hazel Lancaster, who meets a boy named Augustus Waters at a cancer support group. Her mother thinks she's depressed. Obviously, she has cancer and everything, and she wants her to kind of, talk with people and stuff. And of course, there she meets Augustus. And I'm not a big one for love stories and whatever. I like it. It's okay if it's within a plot, but I like for there to be more going on. And they talk about books and just life, and I really liked that. I liked it that they were more than just a couple, and I liked that they were more than their illness. And of course, you have all the ups and downs of things. It's not that, she hates relationships, but Hazel knows she's sick, that she can go at any time, and she feels as if she's a ticking time bomb for people. And Augustus knows this, but he doesn't care. He loves her, and that's it. And he'll shout it up into the oblivion, because that's what they talk about, how one day people are not going to be here and people aren't going to remember people. So my question is, sorry, I have them written down in my Google Docs here, is what we do worth it? If we're just going to be lost in oblivion, is it worth to achieve, to dream, to set something up for the next person? Even if, people might not know 1,000 years from now if we even exist. Like, there are people who question certain philosophers and everything if they were actually a person or just this group idea. But if it helps somebody, if it inspires, should we keep going on? Giving the world our thoughts and ideas. Okay, that's probably a few questions, but they're all kind of together in there. The next one, if I don't move my camera here, is The Elegance of the Hedgehog. So, The Elegance of the Hedgehog is a translated book. It's originally set in France and written by a French author. So, there may not be some little cultural differences within the book, but the book is told in a dual perspective of a woman in her 50s who is a concierge named Renee, who believes she must hide her intelligence. She's into classic literature and philosophy and all that other stuff. Because people, I suppose, like in her society and the job she has, they're not really looked at as people who are supposed to enjoy those type of things. And then you have Paloma, who lives in the building. She is a 12-year-old girl going on 13, and she lives with one of the upper-class families in the building that Renee works for. And she thinks adults are pretty worthless, that they just care about shallow things, and she actually plans to commit suicide before she turns 13. And so the whole book, it's a lot of dialect. There's really not any kind of action things going on, but it's kind of about those two perspectives, and it's really just about them and how they kind of interact and how they kind of come together eventually, and how people feel that they have to hide this because they're of this status or of that status, and kind of a prejudice people have against each other and all that other stuff. I really enjoyed the book. If you like dialogue a lot and, character-driven books, I like that one. So my question is, how often do we judge a person's intelligence by their appearance? Sadly, I think we do a lot. It's something a lot of us have to kind of break. So the next one, which should be no surprise at all, is my absolute favorite book of all time, which is The Hunger Games. So this is a young adult dystopian, which takes place in Panem, which is a futuristic North America that is now basically ruled by, I guess you would say, a dictatorship. Because of so they're broken up from the wealthy capital that is the ruling power, which is where the extreme wealthy live. Like, these people are rich where they surgically insert jewels into their skin and stuff, because how much money they have. And the outer districts, which are so poor, some of them hunt mice and squirrels to eat for dinner. So districts get tired of all their labor going to these rich people who basically don't have to work for anything, rebel, and as punishment, the Hunger Games come along, which says that now they must sacrifice 2 of their children, 24 in all, to participate in a televised fight to the death. And so we have Katniss, who lives in District 12 and who steps in for her little sister, who is picked at the Reaping. So there she is picked with her partner, Peeta, and there's a story with him. They go to the Capitol, and of course, she kind of learns that not everyone is as bad as people might have thought there. There are good people. There are people who really don't support this. There are people who want to help her. But there's just so many layers to this story. Like, she meets her friend Cinna, who is her stylist, and, you know, you can tell that he's not really like a lot of the other ones. And the thing about it is you also have people in the districts, like I said, who are very prejudiced, but there are people in the Capitol who are, like, very naive and ignorant to actually what's going on, because they've been raised in luxury all their lives. So my question is, are there some people who are just born to rise above being a product of their environment? Like, are there people who can look beyond what they are raised with and understand the difference, that not everyone's the same? Because a lot of people seem to hold certain views. And then the last one is Battle Royale. So Battle Royale has a similarity to the Hunger Games, and I will admit that it actually came out first. So it's originally written in Japanese, and it's about, I guess, an alternate Japan. And because, like, employment rates and other things have been in trouble, kids have been kind of wild and out of control, and so what they create is the program, or the Battle Royale, in which they basically put an entire class to sleep, kidnap them, put them on an island, and they must kill each other. If there's not one person left by the end of a certain time, they all die. All of them. So it has similarities, I think. Like, the Hunger Games has, like, more political things within it, and Battle Royale is more about the friend group or the enemies within the class. So one is killing people for complete control of your country, and one is kind of controlling these kids by, you know, having them hurt people who are close to them. So my question is, could you give up your morals for survival? I'm not sure if I could. I really don't know. But anyways, that is the tag. I am going to tag Ty the Librarian, Wright Reads Books, Strip Cover Lit, and Mindy's Book Journey, and anyone else who would like to do this. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.